Hello, everyone, and welcome to Leaders Book Club. And today is a big day, a very big day, because it is the last chapter of Girl, Woman, Other. I know this is a sad day today. um, but as every good things, it has an end, and the end of this book, of the live reading of this book, is today, unfortunately. I don't know about you, but it always feels a little bit, I don't know, sad when you finishing a book that you really enjoyed, and you have to let go of those characters, and knowing that there is no other chapter to read, and nothing left. So yeah, it's it's the end of an era. Anyway, let's not be too dramatic and let's enjoy the reading of this last chapter. Sorry, I'm fixing my hair at the same time as I'm talking to you. And I'm going to, let's see if people are joining us on Instagram, live on Instagram. And in the meantime, I will start doing a brief recap of this book, and also just doing a quick recap of this book. Sorry, I don't know what I wanted to say. Never mind. So we are in part 5. So this book is divided in 5 parts, and we are in part 5 and reading the last chapter, that is called Epilogue. Yesterday we read chapter 13, and it was called The After Party. This after party is the after party of the novel, of the play, Ama's play, that was performed at the National Theatre, where she is working, and she's the director of the National Theatre. And we, in this chapter, we are, it's like it's a sort of a reunion, as I called it in my summary of yesterday's chapter, in my yesterday's post. It's sort of a reunion of some of the characters, and hello, Andrea. And we talk about, so here we see that Carol is present during the performance of this play. She has attended the show, and she meets for the first time she since she left the school. She reunites with Mrs. King, and she finally meets her. She finally gets to thank her for all the work that all the help that she did, that she gave to her, all her help when she needed the most, during a very difficult time, when she was 13, and she was raped. So there is this moment between these two. And the funny thing is that Mrs. King is actually he's yeah, she's hiding the fact that she was waiting for these thanks for years, and but instead she's, oh, you don't need to thank me, and pretend that she it's okay, that she didn't need to do that. But yeah, it's actually something that she expected. And after that, we also have the big friendship reunion between Amma and Dominic. So in the end, we are happy to see that they met again, and that Dominic did that she traveled all the way to visit her. Um, to visit her and to attend the play. So, oh, sorry, my hair are ridiculous. I don't know. I'm trying to fix this. So yeah, it's so nice to see that after all those years, they managed to see each other again, and that Dominic managed to see her play, and spend some time with her friend, with her old friend. And it's a short chapter, so that's mainly what is happening in this chapter, except that everyone is really happy about the play. It's a big success, and Roland, Emma's very good friend, and also the father of her daughter, Yaz, is also there. And as it was mentioned at the beginning of the book, he's there. And Yaz is actually thrilled that she sees that everyone is happy about the play, and is congratulating her mother for it. So she's relieved to see that the play was well received, and that everyone liked it. So it's a big she's very proud of her mom, and it's a big moment for Amma, and for the recognition of the industry, and the recognition as well from the public, from the audience, public. And yeah, it's a big moment for Amma, and also for all the women that identify themselves with the play, or yeah, the fact that she put a spotlight on Black women, like this book. So yeah, it mirrors what the book is doing, what the author has been trying to do in this book. So that's about chapter 13. And the rest of the book is just a reflective, is actually different, sorry, because the chapters from part 1 to part 4, each chapters are dedicated to one character in particular. So part 5 is quite different, and yeah, it's more like a part where we are able to connect everyone back to each other, even though we made the connection throughout the book. this book is an adaptation. It's a shorter version. It's easier to make the connections while we're reading. But when you're reading the original version of the book, there are more details, and there are different, in one chapter there are different parts in it, and it's much harder to link back all the character. So I guess this yeah, actually I realize now that I see, interesting. It's interesting to see how they have divided the book differently from the adaptation. In the adaptation, each chapter corresponds to one character, but actually in the original book, it's one chapter, and basically part 1 is chapter 1. Chapter 2, part 2 is chapter 2, and it's divided in 3 parts with the 3 characters, and so on. And chapter 5, so part 5 is actually the after party, and only that. And then the epilogue is another chapter, let's say. So the adaptation actually divided part 5 with the after party and the epilogue. They included both under part 5. Yeah, that's an interesting way to rearrange and structure the book and the narrative. So, but yeah, I like it as well. I like this way as well. It's nice, and yeah, it's good. This book is all about women of color, navigating through the years and the struggle at different periods of time, in England, mostly in England, but also overseas, like in America or in the Caribbean. We see snapshots of lives of, for example, the grandmothers or the great-grandmothers who traveled all the way from the Caribbean or all the way from Africa, South Africa, or other countries in Africa to England and settle in England for a better life. And it's also about gender identity, as Other is about the fact that one character in particular, I mean, no, more than one, actually, one in particular in terms of gender identity, Megan Morgan in chapter 10, who identifies herself as non-binary, and then the other women who are like Amma and Dominic, who are lesbian women, but also the women who I can't remember who it was, Bummy, I think, who was secretly in love with a woman, but always lived with a man because social norms. Yeah, there is so many layers of in these women's lives and in these women's journey and how they evolved, and there are so many layers of what a woman is about and what women of color are about. Same as the same questioning and struggle, for example, with the balance between work and personal life, the difficulty to make yourself understood by your partner and having the same opportunities as your husband or your partner in terms of career, or the fact that, or in terms of children, of deciding the choice, the number of children, or when to have children. So it's a lot of power balance between men and women, and unfortunately for most of them, for a lot of them, coming from a period of time that it's from the 50s or the 60s, it's a good portrait of these, it's a nice way to see different kinds of portraits and different women from different periods of time telling their stories. So we are able to understand where we're coming from and where we are now, and what feminism has been able to achieve for women, and acknowledging this, and in order to make sure that we preserve and we carry on the fight and the efforts of and continue the legacy of these women, that these women have passed on with the fight of this heritage, with that they've passed on with this heritage of fighting for their rights, because otherwise we forget, and too easily we forget. So it's nice to, oh, hi Katie, I'm happy you're able to be here today. How are you? Hello. Good. I'm happy to. Yeah, same. I'm super happy. And I was just doing a quick recap of the book. Yay. I'm doing a quick recap of the book because today I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm very I'm very happy to be reading today, and but also I'm a little bit sad to finish this book because today is the last chapter, chapter 13. 14, sorry, chapter 14, and it's the epilogue of the book. And I was just doing a quick recap of the book and everything that we have discussed with all the different characters. So yeah, today it's the final live reading of Girl, Woman, Other. And tomorrow I'm not gonna do any live reading because today is the last chapter, but I will be back on Monday with not a live reading, but with a live podcast, which is basically the same, but it's going to be more, it's going to be more into a podcast format. Really? Nothing much. It's just going to be live again. But I will be, yes, it's going to be different. I'm not going to do a live reading, but I will be talking about a book tomorrow. Not tomorrow, not tomorrow, Monday, on Monday. So you will soon know all about it. You will know what's happening next week. So that's gonna be a little break from live reading. But then the following week, so not next week, but the week after, I will start again a live reading. And I hope you will enjoy the next book. So, yeah, how exciting. Yay. I'm glad you're excited about I don't know, everything, I guess. The live podcast and the live reading, I guess. So yeah, next week for our next meetup, Zoom meetup. Next week we will have loads of topics to talk about. But this Saturday, are we going to read which book? Which book are we going to read? The next book that we're going to read, this is your question? Yeah. I don't have it yet because I'm waiting to get it from the post. It's going to be, yes, it's going to be Little Women. It's a book from who's the author? Mary. I forgot. Sorry, I forgot the author. But yeah, it's a classic of the American literature, I think. Yeah. I need to get my little, yeah, Louisa May Alcott. Yeah, that's right, Alcott. Yeah. And she, if I'm right, she's an American. Yeah, she's American. Yeah. That's right, because it's about American women. But I knew, because I've watched the film and the recent film, and I knew, I think when I was younger, I've watched, I think they made series, I think, about this book. They adapted it into series, I think, TV series. I'm not sure. I think so. And or other films anyway. And it's happening in America, but I wasn't sure whether the author was actually American, but yes, she was. Yeah, and it's a book dated from the 19th century. So it's a classic of English American literature. And I've always wanted to read it, and this is the time, because I'm going to be reading the original version at the same time. So obviously the graded reader book will be finished much quicker, but I will be able to show you the books as well. So that's exciting. And yes, so we will be reading this one from not next week, in 2 weeks. Yeah. So yeah, that's the reveal. Yeah, and that's about it for announcements. And now we are going to start reading the last chapter and see if we've got a little bit of time after to chat about it. Otherwise, we will still meet on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Are you going to be there on Saturday, Katie? Is it still good for you? Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. CET. We meet live on Zoom with the book club, and we will discuss for the last time this book and the last chapters of the book. And yeah. So do you think you will be there on Saturday, Katie? If you're not sure, that's fine too. I will be there, and anyway, so we'll see. Yay! Great. Looking forward to it. So let's go. Let's read the last chapter. Penelope is on a train heading up north. She is reading a review in a newspaper about a play. Yes, 9, still same time. She is reading a review in, did you, last question before, sorry. Did you read chapter 13, Katie? Yes? You managed to read it? Nice. I look forward to hear what you thought about this, these last chapters, sorry. Okay, let's, fine. Okay. So yeah, I was saying chapter at the beginning of this video, of this live, I did the a quick recap of chapter 13, which is basically the reunion with Carol and her teacher, Mrs. King, and they meet again, and Amma and Dominic as well. I hope I didn't spoil too much, but yeah, it's nice to see them meet again. Okay, let's continue. She is reading a review. So Penelope is Shirley, so Mrs. King, Shirley's work friend. She's a teacher too. She is reading a review in a newspaper about a play about African Amazons that is on the National Theatre. The review is positive, but Penelope knows that she will not be going to see it. Okay. The other passengers in the train with her are loud, and Penelope wants to tell them to shut up. Okay, it's fine, don't worry. These days, she does not have time for many people except for Jeremy, either way. Her partner, who is a lovely man who loves her. Oh, she found love. This is so sweet because we left her being quite saddened by the fact that her daughter, that she had divorced twice, and her daughter announced her that she was leaving for Australia with her husband because her husband is from Australia. And she announced her that she was moving there with her kids. And she was very sad about this news. So it's so nice to see that she met someone and he loves her. It took her many years to find him, but he is all she ever wanted. Her relationship with Jeremiah is going well. They suit each other and have settled into a comfortable life together. Penelope is nearly 80 years old, and after a health scare in which she thought she might die, has never felt so human. She had not thought about her birth parents for a very long time. But after fearing for her own life, she had begun to wonder about them again. Who were the people who had brought her into the world, only to give her away? Her daughter, Sarah, was surprised to hear her talk about this during their weekly video conversation. If you want to try and find out about your parents, you should do a DNA test, Mum. The idea interested Penelope, who imagined that her real parents had been from York, where she had been raised by Edwin and Margaret. So Penelope ordered the DNA test and waited patiently for the results. When they arrived, they were not what she had been expecting. Europe, Ireland 25%, Scandinavia 22%, Great Britain 17%, European Jewish 16%, Iberian Peninsula 3%, Finland, Northwest Russia 2%, Europe West 2%, Africa, Ethiopia 4%, South Sudan 1%, Kenya 1%, Eritrea 1%, Sudan 1%, Egypt 1%, Nigeria 1%, Ivory Coast, Ghana 1%, Cameroon, Congo 1%, Africa South Central 1%, hunter-gatherer 1%. Penelope was shocked. She never expected to see Africa in her DNA. Only 17% of her was British and 13% of her was African. At least it explained why she tanned so easily under the sun. Did that mean one of her parents was 25% African? Or was it divided between the two of them? As she did not know who her birth parents were, Penelope did not know what to do. She called Sarah and told her the news. Sarah thought it was all very exciting. Mom, did you see the website can also connect you with other relatives who have also done the same DNA tests? It says here that you have over 100 distant relatives listed on your page. But something else is showing, Mom. A parent, your birth mother or father, must have had the test done too. And must have the test done too. And they have an email address for you to message them. Mom, don't cry. Penelope had become very emotional, so Sarah kindly offered to contact the email address listed on the page. She emailed someone called Morgan, who told her that she had been managing the DNA test for their great-grandmother, Hattie Jackson. Whoa, Morgan. So Hattie is the great-grandmother, is Morgan great-grandmother. Morgan told Sarah that Hattie had only one daughter called Adame, but that she would ask her great-grandmother, but that she would ask her great-grandmother and call Sarah back. After Hattie recovered from the shock of it all, she confessed to Morgan that she had given birth to a baby and named her Barbara when she was only 14. The baby had been taken away from her by her father. Morgan emailed Penelope all of this, and Penelope got on a train to see Hattie the very next day. Oh, this is so sweet. So Penelope is Hattie's daughter. Yeah, I can't remember. Hattie, yeah. I forgot that Hattie had a baby at 14. Yeah, I'd forgotten that part. So many stories. Penelope takes a taxi from the station to the farm. The taxi drives into a yard that is so thick with mud. The taxi can barely move. There are chickens running around, and Penelope even sees a cow's head appear above a wall. She feels like she has gone back in time. Penelope gets out of the taxi as the door to the farmhouse opens. An old woman steps out. She is tall, thin, and fierce looking. Her skin is a light brown color, and Penelope knows this is her mother. Oh. Penelope had worried that she would feel nothing or that her mother would show no love towards her. She could not have been more wrong. They are both crying, and Penelope does not know what to say. But this is not about feeling something or about speaking words. This is about being together. Oh, and this is the end. This is so emotional. How do you feel, Katie? This is, yeah, this is the end. This is the end. How do you feel about this last story? Because in the end, we finally, yeah, we get to, finally Penelope gets to know who who her biological parent was. Yeah, this is so sweet, and it's such a lovely ending because not only Hattie is able to reconcile with her past, but also Penelope finds love not only in a partner, but she finds love like mother love, like parenting love. Yeah, very emotional, yeah, and beautiful. And yeah, she's finally able to be loved by at least one of her parents. And her mother, yeah, most importantly. I can't remember what happened to Hattie with this with the birth of this girl, and how did she get pregnant with her? What happened? I'm curious now. I didn't expect this relationship. Yeah. Yeah, I had completely uh forgotten that Hattie had a baby when she was 14. I forgot that. Yes. Hattie met yes, it says here, it's at the end of the chapter. She's keeping this a secret because she knows her children will not be happy when they have a lost inheritance. They have no, sorry. No, it's all about keeping. She has kept bigger ones before, like the child she gave birth to when she was just 14. Bobby was the father. Who's Bobby? He was the popular boy in her school. He and the other boys did not even look at Hattie. But then for about 30 minutes, Bobby did. Oh my God. However, after they had sex, Bobby starts to ignore her again. Pa was so angry when he found out, but Ma seemed happy. She had always wanted another child. When she gave birth, Hattie named the baby Barbara. So Penelope was meant to be named Barbara. And Ma helped to look after her. But Pa was not happy. One day he came into the bedroom and took the baby from Hattie. Or, you must never tell anyone about this. Your life will be ruined if you keep it. Men will have two reasons not to marry you. Hattie did as Pa said and never told anyone about her secret baby. Not Slim, not Ada. Sonny, not anybody. So Hattie's children didn't even know. Nobody knew about this baby, about this first baby. And this is Penelope. Oh. Well, this is a nice happy ending as well for this character, and answers to probably all her questions. Yeah, Barbara sounds nice, so nice too. Yeah, it's beautiful name as well. Yeah, both. Yeah, so this was that was it. So I can't wait to discuss more about this with you, Katie, and that you will be able to say more about how you feel about this book. And yeah, I highly recommend you to read this book. If you're watching this video, it's it's an ode of women, and Black women specifically, but women in general, because those topics are universal. And I hope that if reading is not something that it's easy for you, if you're new to reading, whether if it's your first language or it's your second language, such a great read. You're welcome. I was so glad to read this book as well, to reread this book, rediscover this book. And I hope that maybe it it will encourage you to read the original book now on your own, hopefully, or maybe with the Audible version, and that helps sometimes people to get to the end of the book. People tend to read the book as well, to follow the reading with the audio version. So maybe it's something that might help you to get to the reading of the original one. But anyway, whether you read the original book or not, doesn't matter, as long as you read, it's great. And of course, the shorter the graded reader version, it's much shorter and very satisfying anyway. So yeah, I wish you happy reading for this book, and it was my pleasure to read this book and share those stories with you. I hope you enjoyed as much. I know, Katie, you did. And I hope you guys who are watching this video on replay enjoy all the videos as well on replay, have enjoyed those stories too. And in the meantime, I wish you a happy rest of the day, a lovely rest of the day. And I will see you on Monday with my live podcast, and the whole week, basically, with a different topic each day. And yeah, and soon I will be doing also live reading for kids as well. That's going to be another project. Anyway, I'm not going to say more. So I'll see you very soon, Kitty. I'll see you on Saturday, and have a lovely rest of the day. Bye bye, everyone. Bye.